So I thought it would be fun to do a video of my must-haves in medical billing. And I'd like to know what you guys must-haves are in medical billing as well. I sat down to think about it, and I was really trying to I've been doing this for so long, but I'm really trying to sit down and say, what is it that I must have when I am billing? So I want to hear you guys must-haves below, so please put it in the comments. But here are some of mine. Now I know I've forgotten some of them, but these are the ones that I came up with in my mind. So keep watching if you're interested in seeing what my must-haves are in medical billing. We're gonna jump right into it. I'm Tamika. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm giving you. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video so that the YouTube algorithm will start to show it to other people and those who like to learn about billing so that they can come and join our family as well. We're gonna jump into my must-haves. And the first must-haves are websites. So some of the websites that I go on continuously and I have them bookmarked are www.icd10data.com. So that's one that when I'm looking for a specific ICD-10 code that I need, or even a conversion of ICD-9 to ICD-10, I usually go to that website. I like that website because it shows you everything all in one place. It explains what is basically in your ICD-10 book. And it's just, most of us like the electronic version of things, and I don't have to go through my coding books. Now, mind you, I love my coding books. I go through them pretty often. But if I am someplace where I don't have them and I just need to get them, that is the site that I feel is more concise and it's easy to maneuver. So that's the first one. The second one is, of course, the cms.gov site. Now, mostly everyone, and I won't say everyone, because for a while I didn't bill for Medicare. I started off billing for Medicare, and then for a while, most of my providers were not Medicare providers, and so I didn't bill for Medicare for a while, and so I wasn't really too up to date on their stuff, but I'm back to billing them. I've been billing them for a while, so, I am on their site pretty often. They have a lot of good information. And the main one, which is cms.gov, has on a lot of information as well, because we know that our local contractors or MACs, they're the ones that we go to normally when we look for specific things for our specific region. But CMS is for everyone. And cms.gov is a site that you should know and also have bookmarked. That is also where you can find the NCCI edits, which I mentioned in a video before this when we talk about bundling and unbundling. So please don't forget to watch that video so you can know what the NCCI edits are. But that's also one that I keep bookmarked because it's important to understand that whole edit thing and what's bundled and not bundled and stuff. And I just have it bookmarked all the time because it comes up a lot when you're doing billing for different specialties that especially do a lot of procedures and surgeries. And the last websites, I would say, because they're websites and I can't specifically say the website address, but depending on whatever insurance company or third-party payer that you bill for, they usually have a website. And you should be familiar with that website because on it has different policies, their news, updates, all of those things. So I'm speaking about, let's say, Cigna, United Healthcare. We have a place called Elon, or Health Smart is what they call it, Aetna, APW, like all of those. You should be familiar with those websites and have them bookmarked because you will be going to them pretty often to check out what's new and check out their policies. And when you call the rep and they say, check our policy and this is not our policy, you should know where to go and look, and usually it is on the payer's website. My second must-have is reference materials. Now, although I don't do coding, I am a medical biller, I still have and use my CPT book, my ICD-10 book, and my HCPCS book. Recently, I just tried to branch out and get the online versions of these books, and y'all, I don't know why I did that, but I did, and I spent enough money for it, so I'm gonna learn it. But I have my physical books, which I love, and I also have the online versions of these books. So they are reference material that I always go to. Like I said, I may not go to them as much as a coder, because coders usually are in those books all the time, every day, anytime they code, they're usually in those books. But these books I also use, even though I'm not a coder. I also use coding companions, because again, although I'm not a coder, I need to know certain rules and guidelines that pertain to coding. And so when claims are denied or not paid in full or whatever the situation is, I need to understand why it's not like that. And if I don't have a coder in-house who knows the guidelines and the rules, I will be able to explain it to, let's say, the provider or whoever is the person, the physician, whoever is the person who is giving me the codes to bill. I need to be able to explain to them. And you need to have references that you can go back to, and a coding companion is one of those references that can be very good when it comes to coding and helping you get paid and billing out procedures and E&Ms and stuff like that. And my third reference guide is a cheat sheet or a cheat book, which I said a cheat book because I actually have a book. It's, like a regular book you get from Office Max that just has in certain things. So especially if you're in specific specialties and, you know that, let's say, United Healthcare doesn't pay for UPTs with urinalysis. If a patient is pregnant, it's their first visit. They don't pay that. They may be the only payer who doesn't pay it, so you make a note of that. I always recommend that you have a cheat sheet, because there's so many things that you have to try to remember. Things are being updated and changed and all of those things, and you're just not going to remember everything for every payer or every person. So having this little book, you might have in your brain, like, I remember there's a payer that doesn't pay this and this payer does, but you just don't remember. Instead of having to do a complete research again, which is going to be a waste of time because you've probably already done the research, which might have taken you a while to do, you have it already written down, and you can have it written down and have it. The other thing, the key to this is to have it written down, have the source that you got it from, and have when you got it, like a date or so you can know when it was. Another thing that you don't want to do is just have a cheat sheet, have it written down, and think that's how it's going to be all the time, because things are going to change and it's not going to be like that all the time. But you can have it there to help you out, and every now and then you just make sure that is in fact still what is required of you. So this cheat sheet can help you save time and be able to have a better productivity in billing out and getting your claims paid. The fourth thing is my billing magazines. Now, there are two specific billing magazines that I subscribe to, I guess you would say. And the first one is called the BC Magazine, and I'll put the link or the website address on the screen. I think it's BC Coding or something like that, billingandcoding.com. But I really like this magazine because it specifically is geared more towards billing, which it has coding and billing. Let me not even say that. It has coding and billing, but I find that most of the articles it really is in tune towards billing, which I like. And it's also in tune towards the revenue cycle and practice management, which is something else that I do. So I really like this magazine for that. And I got in on it when it was at a low price, and they have a guarantee. So I think it's like $55 when I first signed up for it. And now I don't know, I believe it's $79 right now, which is still not bad. You get, I think it's 10 magazines a year, because I think a couple of them are together, like June and July or something like that are together. So don't quote me on it. If it's wrong from what I'm saying, I will tell you on the screen. But you get some good magazines, and you get to read up on what's new and what you need to keep up on and what's coming. And, you know, it's just a really good magazine. So I would always recommend that you read up on that. It comes once a month for the most part. And so that's a way that you can keep up on things. The second magazine is from AAPC. Since I am a member of AAPC, I get this magazine through my membership. And the magazine is called Healthcare Business Monthly. Also, what I forgot to say, which is what for both of these magazines, you can get CEUs. And since, again, I am a member of the AAPC and I'm certified, so I need to get CEUs, I use both the BC magazine and the Healthcare Monthly Business magazines to get CEUs. Basically for free instead of, I mean, I have paid for the subscription, but I can get the CEUs without having to pay extra money, watching seminars, reading articles, or webinars, not seminars, but watching webinars, reading articles, and I can get my CEUs that way, which I really, really appreciate. And since you have to get your CEUs every 2 years, I can get my CEUs mainly through these magazines. And the last fave of mine in medical billing is a medical billing dictionary or Google. So although if you want to become a biller, you don't need to necessarily know like anatomy and physiology, stuff like that. You don't really need to know that because you're not the coder and you're not reading through the records to then decide what to code. But I find it helpful, again, when things are denied, when things are maybe even rejected, when you're trying to look at codes, diagnosis codes and stuff like that, you can understand what it means, you know, why it's not being paid. You can understand that. So the medical billing dictionary, which people probably say, you use dictionary still? I don't use it as much, of course, but I do have a medical dictionary. And if I have a question about anything, if I want to know what this or that means, I will most of the time Google it. So I said medical billing, medical dictionary, and Google, which most of us use Google, but there are those of us out there who like to physically flip through books, and a medical dictionary may be helpful or useful to you. Please comment below and let me know what your must-haves are in medical billing. I will see you in the next video.